Okay, I've set up a scene here, not unlike what you all are doing in your project for this class. Um, I've got a character that I created right here, just very quickly polygon modeled, put on a path. There's a plane under her, and then in the sky is this big moon. And for materials, I made the moon, gave it a, let's see, I gave it a base color of gray, because it actually kind of is. I gave it a little bit of transmission, just 0.05. And then I changed the emission, and let's just make that 3. Just leave an even number, and gave it a color. Because that's kind of what the moon does. If you look at it, it kind of glows that light yellow. And then my character, I just kind of started playing, whoops, sorry. My character, I just started playing with some different materials to see what they would do. Base color, I don't know, let's make it a little transparent. That would be kind of cool, actually. Let's see how that works. Oh, there's my moon. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Let's see, I meant to render that out, actually. Okay, that's kind of cool. I don't know, I could spend more time with that, but I just wanted to set it up just so I had a scene, because I wanted to talk about lighting a little bit. Okay, so the light, the moon, is emissive, and we thoroughly covered that. And I just put this moon up in the sky. Let's see, I'll show you. It's just up here, and it'll come into my view eventually. It's just up here as a, put something up in the sky. And I just changed the color of the background to dark blue. My character, and now I've added, near my character, I have added another light, which is this one. It's just you're seeing it above her when it's not. It's actually next to her because of the camera angle. So I'm going to click on the light and talk a little bit about some things you can do. I am going to have this light follow her. All right, so I have other lighting in the scene, but she is going to have this light follow her. And you'll see why here when I set all this up. So the light, I created a point light, took the radius to 0, gave it a little bit of color, and I changed, because it was dark, I didn't have any other light really other than my moon. I really bumped this intensity up and the exposure up to 14, and I just played around with it a little bit to get what was right. You're going to see I have my samples here. You can control your samples here as well as you can on the renderer that we covered. Because this is dark, I'm going to, oops, I meant to pick it, increase it to 2, and volume 2. I don't know, I'm just going to leave that for now. Shadows. You can change the color of your shadows, and if you're doing anything dark, you may want to do that. You may want to change the color of your shadows. Or if you're doing something really artistic, I mean, you can change that. You can change the color of your shadows. And for night scenes, I would change the color of my shadows to dark, very dark blue instead of black. And it just makes it look more like night. The density of your shadows, or how thick they are. If you're in a situation where you want your shadows to be a little more opaque, change the density. Just lower it. Okay. And then you have more samples here that you can work with, and we're just going to leave those alone for now. That's a lot more advanced than you need to be at this point. And so when I render this out, that does a pretty good job of evenly lighting her. If it doesn't, because I had a little too close, just move it back until, or down, right? So it's kind of close to midpoint, back and down until you get an even light. And then what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to link it. I'm going to select the light, and I'm going to come over here. It might be off camera here. But I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to select my select and link. Okay? And now I'm going to, from the click, hold, and drag, and I'm going to link it to my character. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to play this out. This is my animation. My camera and my character are set on the path. And now my light should follow my character. And it does. And it looks like it's moving, but it's really not. It's just the way the scene's changing, and I'll show you. If you watch right here, you can see the, let's see. You see that light's following my character. So what I'm gonna do is render this out off camera, and I will post the end result for you with the video. Okay. I think we've covered what I wanted to cover. That's sort of the additional things with lighting that I haven't covered. These Arnold lights are really quite simple. Lights on. You have the different types. The PowerPoint in Blackboard talks about the different ones. I mostly use that point light, to be honest with you. You can use other lights. You can use a distant light for sun that's beyond the horizon, and you want to put that far away, and it will illuminate the whole scene. So you really are going to want to take down your intensity. Spot we've worked with. Quad is more like a panel light. Like if you're putting lighting on and you want it to be on the ceiling, you would use a quad and point it down. Or you have light outside a window you want to shine in. Disc lighting, it literally acts like a disc. These would be, the rest of these would be really cool if you can see them, and until they make it so that the light is a physical object, it just acts like a light in this case. So it doesn't do a whole lot of, there's not a whole lot of reason to go through and do this as opposed to this in this case. It does have, you see some stuff down here is grayed out. Let me put it back on quad. It's just showing that. Let's see, portal. Okay, light shape visible. You see that where it says shape rendering? Light shape visible, and it's grayed out. That's where it is. They are working on making it visible. Right now it's just not. And so what's going to happen is you won't, yeah, there it is too. It's here too, sorry. I was thinking it was up here. Light shape visible. It's not. And until they make that, you know, if turned on, light shape will be visible in the rendered images. Not yet available, but they're working on it. So I'm telling you this because at some point in the future, when you guys use later versions of Arnold, you're going to have access to that, and you won't need to do what I did. You can then use a disc to create your moon or your light, and it does some really cool stuff. But for right now, it's just not, an option. And then you can adjust with the color. I just picked a color, but we've talked a little bit about, there are presets in here. If you know exactly what your lighting is and you want to match that lighting exactly, you can do that. You can pick the light. I personally just like to work with color, and I know that having done photography for a long time, I've studied light throughout the day, and I just know what to set it as. But there's a Kelvin scale, and that has to do with the color that the light is in the atmosphere during a certain time of day. And that is something that you can work with. You can select the Kelvin and tell it what temperature you want it to be based on what time of day it is. And there are conversion charts out there. You can look up Kelvin sunlight, daylight, and it will give you the conversion numbers, and you can put those exact numbers in there. It's just a matter of preference. You know, how you want to work, you're the artist. And then we talked about all this, and I think that's it. We've pretty much covered most of what we needed to for lighting for this. Lighting's really, really straightforward in Arnold and very easy to work with, just once you get comfortable with it. So let me know if you have any questions.